If I were coming to you, I had the money to spend on a land investment. Where would you say to avoid and or focus within the markets you do business in?
I hate to say it, but with today's market, the first thing I'm going to ask you is what's your budget and what is your end goal as an investor. So if you're saying, hey, I have a $2, $3, $4 million budget and my goal is to take this land, either hold it for a year to two in a growth market and then recapture it there, or you say, hey, I want to buy 100 acres. I have the funding. I want to do paper lots and then resell to a builder. I'd say, okay, here's the areas that you want to look at, right? Versus you say something like, hey, I want to do 10-acre tracts. I'm like, okay, well, you need to stay away from Dallas. So, you know, because there's a whole different ball game between markets. But then it also comes down to, the next question I always ask is what's your I call it comfortability, right? What is your, at the end of the day, I always tell them, what's your pocketbook look like? Meaning, are you okay with your hard costs? Are you okay with your overhead and carrying costs? And if they feel comfortable with that, then I start making recommendations on, okay, here's some great areas to look at, but they are slower. You can get them at a great price, not 10 cents on the dollar, but you can get them pretty low and then turn around, like still have a, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 profit. But here's where it's going to take you a bit longer. It's going to take you an extra 4 to 5 months to get it sold versus if you were in, say, for our Dallas Fort Worth market, like say Greenville, which is an hour drive to Dallas, right? Versus if you're 4 hours out, that's a whole different market.
Everyone always romanticizing about the great days of 2011 and 12, 13, how cheap and easy it was to buy good deals. And I feel like we are in many places at a place where there is an opportunity to buy at prices we haven't been able to for a long time. I'm seeing that everywhere I'm doing business, both with the response we're getting with our direct to seller marketing and with what we're seeing on the market. And so what I'm really trying to get to is, are you seeing more of a buying opportunity in Texas,
Yes.
elsewhere?
Yeah. And it also comes like I go back to what I said earlier. It all comes down to what your end goal is, right? If you're looking for a quick flip, we're going to recommend a certain area. If you're looking for something you're okay with a longer term hold, may say, great example would be Burnet area, right? So northwest of the Austin corridor, huge opportunity there if you're patient, right? Because that growth is pushing out to there. But as a buyer and on the investor side, yeah, there's definitely still a lot of opportunity there, but you have to be smart about it.